is coming up.
Hi, it's Melanie from Yarn Journeys, and today's vlog is going to be a little different. About 25 years ago or so, I started knitting because I thought that the craft was a bit of magic. It was exciting and fun to me how you make these little knots with your fingers and needles, and lo and behold, you have fabric and a sweater or a hat or whatever it is that I was making. It was fun, um, and I enjoyed something that involved learning new skills and having a tangible thing after so much effort. And as I got older, I enjoyed the creativity of it, particularly when, as a professional, sometimes my work life didn't feel so full of creativity. And I also enjoyed the relaxing nature of knitting, particularly during COVID times when and we still are in COVID times, I guess, but particularly during the lockdowns when there was just so much anxiety and uncertainty, knitting was something that kept me from doom scrolling on my iPad. Well, I didn't get to vlog or spin the past couple of days. Um, I meant to, but unfortunately, as does happen, life had other plans. And I ended up having to spend a lot of time in waiting rooms, waiting for news, um, and wasn't a place that was pleasant to be. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it is a personal situation, but I'm sure that many of you have been in similar situations. So I couldn't spin or watch the Tour de France or participate in the Tour de Fleece as I had hoped to. But I did have my knitting with me, and I was able to complete the body of my sweater and get down to and finish the ribbing. And I also was able to start the short rows of the sleeve. Um, by the way, if you're curious, this is Carol Feller's Curdock cardigan, and it's going to be a traditional Irish knit cabled cardigan. So I was knitting and sitting in waiting rooms, and I'd like to share just how much having my knitting with me was a solace. Uh, First of all, just having to concentrate on one loop after another, making sure I was paying attention to the pattern, uh, kept my mind from running away with itself. Um, I had something else to concentrate on, and so I I wasn't able to, focus on my anxious thoughts. Instead, I had something else to take that focus. Um, and the time sitting around waiting for news probably passed more quickly than if I had just been sitting there watching the awful daytime TV that was playing on the TV in that waiting room. But what I particularly enjoyed were the little moments of conversation with other people that my knitting provoked. So I was there sitting down, having my knitting on my lap, and about once every 15 minutes or so, and I was there for a number of hours in particular, someone would come by and say, "Oh, I used to knit. That looks beautiful. Watching you knit makes me think I want to knit." Um, or, someone would drop by and say, "Oh, what are you making? I crochet." Uh, and we would have a little conversation about my knitting and their knitting or their crocheting, or perhaps about the cable knit sweater that their mother knit for them when they were little. And it was just these little moments of connection with strangers uh, in a place where unpleasant news gets put out there. These little moments of connection and joy with other people really made what was a difficult time have a different flavor and poignancy to it. And I just wanted to say how much I valued having my knitting with me and what a solace it was to me. And I'm curious how you have experienced knitting in your life. Why do you knit? What are the reasons, and how has it affected you in difficult times? Today's stage of the Tour de France is the one that has the Alpe d'Huez in it. And if you're not familiar with the Tour de France, the Alpe d'Huez is considered one of the most difficult mountains to climb. It's got a lot of switchbacks. It's famous. It's been featured in the tour over and over again. And it tends to be the mountain where the cyclist who wins the Tour de France really has to show his strength and leadership in the ability to win the tour. And in some ways, my knitting is helping me meet my personal Alpe d'Huez, so to speak. So today, I am looking forward to getting back to my spinning wheel. I'm looking forward to watching today's Tour de France. And I am also looking forward to the continued delight and joy that my knitting and spinning bring to me. Thanks so much, and I will see you soon with another vlog from the Tour de Fleece.
Okay. Changes afoot. Will do in big trouble. He's had a great Tour de France so far, but now he's definitely been dropped. Enric Mas riding a little bit better. Bardet is still there with Yates and Geraint Thomas. Now it's getting to be an incredibly tough tempo.